AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. There were clashes in court in Washington between Judge Tanya Chutkan and John Lauro, an attorney for former President Donald Trump. The AP's Eric Tucker reports Lauro called the election interference indictment illegitimate.
She repeatedly took umbrage with Lauro's suggestion that the case was unfolding at a really sensitive time. She said her interest is just about the four corners of the courtroom, what's happening legally, not about the presidential race.
This is a revised, stripped-down indictment against Trump meant to comply with the Supreme Court's recent opinion on presidential immunity. Donald Trump spoke today about the economy at the Economic Club of New York.
We delivered an economic miracle, which Kamala and Joe turned into an economic disaster, just like they turned the border and indeed the whole world into a catastrophic surrender.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will debate for the first time Tuesday. The Office of the Special Counsel says Navy Secretary Carlos Del Toro broke the law by publicly endorsing the re-election of President Biden and criticizing Donald Trump in several statements he made while on official duty overseas. President Biden says he's grateful for the first responders who responded to the deadly school shooting in Georgia and apprehended the suspect.
But as a nation, we cannot continue to accept the carnage of gun violence. I'm a gun owner. I believe strongly in the amendment. We need more than thoughts and prayers.
A report by the sheriff says the 14-year-old suspect was questioned last year about a menacing post on the social media site Discord and denied at the time threatening to carry out a school shooting. A bankruptcy judge approved Red Lobster's reorganization plan and sale to a lender group. Dozens of restaurants have closed, and many of the problems at Red Lobster have been blamed on its endless shrimp promotion. Stocks finished mixed. This is AP News. The French woman whose husband is accused of inviting men to rape her while unconscious has testified in court.
Speaking in a calm and clear voice, Gisèle Pellicot told the court that her world collapsed when police uncovered the years of alleged abuse. Her husband, Dominique Pellicot, now 71, and 50 other men are standing trial on charges of aggravated rape and face up to 20 years in prison. Whilst the Associated Press does not usually identify the names of sexual assault victims, Gisèle Pellicot's lawyer said she accepted that her name be published. She told the court that she pushed for the trial to be public in solidarity with other women who go unrecognized as victims of sexual crimes. The trial is expected to run until December. I'm Karen Shamas.
3 people who tested positive for Legionnaire's disease have died after an outbreak at an assisted living facility in upstate New York. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Good morning, Marianas. Little different music this morning. You weren't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. But hey, it's Friday and we are here for a beautiful morning. Especially if you like gloominess and rain. That is what we are dealing this morning. At least weather-wise. Hey, it's 82 degrees out here on Friday. It's 82% humidity too. We'll see. We'll take the 82. We'll raise you an 82. Now we got scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout today. Mostly cloudy skies. High near 87. Winds out of the south 7 to 14 miles per hour. And a 50-50 chance of rain. Well, looking at it right now, we're on the dry 50 side, but it was definitely pretty sloppy this morning when leaving the house and seeing what was out there for us. Will we be able to finish the playoff game between the Falcons and the Cardinals? We're going to find out tonight. We were able to do it yesterday when the Sandlot and Bandits battled it out at Tonko. Not sure if that's going to happen today, though, but it did, and it was great. And, hey, we got baseball. But today, we also have football. We'll get to that in just a minute. But last night was a pretty good contest. It got out of hand quick, though. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be that way. The Bandits and Sandlot should have been a closer game. At least that's what we thought. You got the second-place team in the league against the fifth-place team in the league. And, again, we thought it was going to be a little bit closer. But just a breakout inning in the first. And next thing you know, I mean, the Sandlot had to try to dig themselves out of that hole at the beach. It was a rough one for sure. Mike Igwell on the hill for the Green Machine, and it just did not start smooth. It ended a little bit better. They started doing a little bit better, but then they were able to hang on. They just had to escape that first inning of just awfulness and unfortunate plays. An error by the second base, an error by shortstop, a bunch of hits, and then that was all she wrote. So we finished 9 complete, got out of there by 9 o'clock-ish, and we're moving on. So the Bandits are moving on. And they're going to play the Padres sometime next week. We don't have the schedule yet. But today, if the weather permits, the Falcons and Cardinals, it's the first and fourth place teams. We're waiting to see what happens. So when we do resume, it's supposedly tonight, weather-wise. It's in the bottom of the 6th. The game's all tied at 4, and the Falcons are just about to start their at-bat. That's how we're going to get that party started tonight. And, man, I'll tell you, it's a lot of baseball back to back to back. And then the winners of these games going to find out, again, who's going to be moving on to the next round, because the Padres still got to knock out their game. Then Falcons and Cardinals, you'll see who's going to make it to the finals. So we are moving along in the baseball world here. Football today, though, I'm really excited about it because it's going to be the first time that we've been able to actually do football stuff since last season, and I couldn't be happier. So 10:20 here locally, tomorrow Standard Time, the Baltimore Ravens are traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. It is going to kick off the entire NFL season, and who you got? You got the defending Super Bowl champions playing host. They'll raise their banner. They'll raise their flag. They'll come out of the tunnel running to the roar of the fans, and we can't wait to see it. But the Ravens, I don't have any faith in the Ravens, but they seem to play really strong every year, and this could be their year. If you remember last season, the Lions came out and knocked off the Chiefs in week 1. So you never know, but the Chiefs look like they're stronger this year than even stronger this year than they were last year. So that should be a real test for the entire league, not to mention the Ravens when they come out of the gate in Kansas City for week 1. So we'll be there for that. We're not broadcasting the game. We're not that cool. We don't have rights from the NFL to do that. But we are going to do the game. You'll see a little different setup and everything when we broadcast later this morning. So even if you can't watch the game or find the game, we will. We can. We'll talk you through all the plays and let you know how it ends up going and who's going to win. It'll be fun. You're basically going to hang out with us and talk and watch football. The phone lines will be open probably during that as well, not to mention all your comments. We'll be doing that on YouTube for sure. Not sure if we're going to put it up on Facebook. That's still a maybe. YouTube for sure, maybe for Facebook. We'll see. We'll test it out today, but that's going to be a new one. Yeah, and thanks, Tobot, for that one, because it is indeed a happy birthday to Julie. My sister is now, 27 years old. No, she's older than 27. But it is her birthday today. At least in the mainland, it won't be till tomorrow. But she's been to Saipan 3 times already, so I think we can give her a happy birthday officially from Saipan. So happy birthday to my sister, Julie. Wish we were there to go and hang out together, but, we'll only live a few thousand miles away from each other, so a phone call we'll have to do for this year. But we'll try and make it out there eventually. That is the big deal for that. All right. Oh, man. You know what? I talk about this all the time, and why am I not actually just getting it? Here, I'm just going to pull it up online right now, because it's like the appropriate music for this. I had it on the other computer before I ended up doing this. Let's see. I want the big loop, one that goes forever. We'll start right from the beginning. Oh, it didn't start. Oh, here we go. There we go. That's what we're looking for. The Law and Order theme. Because it's one of the big topics that we were going to talk about today. It's not the only thing that's happening in the world, but I think it's a big enough deal to talk about it. because I'm almost sick and tired of seeing it in the paper every time it comes up, and it's not something that's moving forward. It's the case against former Governor Ralph De Leon Guerrero Torres, and we talked about him a whole lot, right? I mean, who didn't love him when he was there? I mean, he was just, you can't spend time with him and not love the Gov. But he's got some things that, there were some charges against him, and they were brought by the House of Representatives, then to the Attorney General's office, and then brought to court, right? So there's an ongoing battle between the government side and the former governor's side, and it's been stretching out a long time already. I mean, it just seems like delay after delay after delay. We thought maybe this stuff would actually see the light of day before the election last time, and then the folks said that maybe that's not fair to do it before the election. You don't want to influence the election, so let's do it afterwards. Great. It's 2024, guys, and we're on the tail end of it. So it would be great to see something happen for this. But the defense counsel for the former governor is continuing to do the same kind of stuff. Now, granted, that's what you want your defense counsel to do. They're doing exactly what they are paid to do. But it still pisses me off because I'm tired of seeing it. It's just delay after delay after delay. And then they're, again, distracting from the main case. They're bringing this stuff to the same judge that is in charge of this case, and that to me just sounds ridiculous because they're talking that this contract to hire this attorney who is prosecuting this case is invalid based on his hiring and all that other stuff. To me, that just seems like another thing for them to do with another judge and another time. But going after an actual contract for the prosecuting attorney, just horse stuff. You know, I get it. You can argue that all you want, and that's fine because you can. You can argue anything you want. But I can't believe that the judge would even entertain this stuff. Not the same judge, anyway, because they're not getting what they want. And that the last ruling that they got in their favor is being appealed in the Supreme Court, but they're still going after it. I mean, basically, I can't talk too much trash about them, even though I absolutely hate doing it, because I hate the way they're doing it, because of the same kind of tactics I saw during the impeachment and the same kind of tactics that I saw during the investigation, like those delay tactics in the House of Representatives when they were trying to just get some questions. And it was just, it was just infuriating to see the same thing, right? I totally understand the constitutional right to ask or be asked questions or be spoken to in Chamorro, Carolinian, or English. Great. Or. But they're saying that they wanted their clients were saying that they wanted only to be addressed in Chamorro, right? Totally get it, especially if that's the language that they're proficient in and it's better for them and they're not accustomed to using any other language to be able to deliver full, robust, complete answers with full comprehension. But that's not the case. They purposely were just throwing that up as an obstacle. And now, apparently, it's supposed to be that they're only supposed to go with this tag based on the request of the client. And I remember in one instance, the governor's secretary was being asked a question in English before it got translated. So it came across in English, and the secretary started answering the question, and her legal counsel put her hand out and stopped her, said, "No, you need to translate that." Again, so it's not even a request from the person. It's a delay tactic by the legal counsel for the other people. And in that one, there's a real bona fide conflict. And that conflict was that the legal counsel for the governor's secretary was also one of the big officers of the fundraising committee for the governor. So they weren't just operating in the best interest of their client. They were operating in the best interest of their friend. And that's a constant theme because it's happening right now with the other case with regards to that Paula on Capitol Hill. Same thing, where those other folks who are involved in that have the same attorneys as the governor. And the judge told him, hey, there is a conflict here. And your attorneys might very well give their other client, who's the governor, former governor, a better deal than you're going to get. And said, yeah, we're going to stick with our guy. So they feel confident in their attorneys, and that's fine. That's their choice. But you're just looking at the same thing. It's really frustrating to see. Holy cow, Fabian. Good to see you in here. Great to see you in here. And Peeling, good to see you too. Of course, Tobot, Louisa, Chuck, good to see you too. Chuck, hopefully you guys get to play tonight. Hopefully we get to see what happens with you guys and the Cardinals. Eric, good to see you too. And thanks for tuning in. Let me open up the just on the other page. Just want to see if there's anybody over at the Good Morning Marianas page that I'm not saying hey to, because I can't see you guys. If you guys are not on the NMI News Service page or on the YouTube channel, I'm not able to see your comments. Here we go. Oh yeah, holy cow. Chris Delmas all the way from Norwich University. No way. Mr. Maple Syrup from Vermont. What's going on? I don't know if you've ever been called Mr. Maple Syrup, but you're a good dude. the swim coach. I'm telling you, it is, my kids would love going there. Yeah, happy Friday indeed, you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. But I want to get back to this thing with the Gov. I mean, again, I'm telling you, if you sit down with the Gov or if you have a conversation with him, you can't help but like him. He's such a likable guy. And in this case, you know, I know that there's a... I love it. I'm just looking at your comments, guys. But going back to this thing here, it's a thing. So they're going after the contract for the attorney who was hired to prosecute the case. I mean, it's coming from the Attorney General's office. They were trying to say that in the previous ruling, that he wasn't sufficiently shielded from the office itself and from the AG, who was ruled to have a conflict. That's a whole separate thing. But now they're going after it a different way by going after the Department of Finance, saying that his contract was invalid. Horse crap. I mean, absolutely garbage. Like anything that they're doing. Hold on, sorry. I'm just noticing this. Move over. Yeah, that was a little too confusing having that logo there. All right. The going after finance to say that he shouldn't be prosecuting the case because the contract should be invalid, that should be a case for a different court. A different judge not presiding over the same case. Because all it's doing is causing a delay on this one. Hey, wow, thanks, Fabian. That's great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That is super cool. So this thing is like, it can't possibly be in the same court because it's I know it's about like whether or not they should do this, but if the court itself doesn't think that he's invalid and they're going after his contract, it's just ridiculous. It shouldn't go in front of this guy. Let's see. Hold on. We're going to keep talking about this thing. But like, I take all kinds of issues about this. Going after the opposing counsel just seems like such a weak ass move because you're not dealing with the case itself. You're not dealing with what is a seemingly clear violations of the law as it's written and Commonwealth policies. So the other thing is that Having spoken with other folks involved on the other side of that conversation, is that, why didn't OPA file any charges about this? That's a good question. I don't know about the procedure on this. And I do remember one person being floated as a witness in the Senate's sham version of the impeachment proceedings. And it was a sham. It was an absolute sham. It was terrible, really. It was so awful. It looked like one of those third world country proceedings where, like, no matter what you do, you're guilty. Well, for this one, it was no matter what you do, you're innocent. In fact, what we're going to do, we're not even going to let the other team provide their own legal counsel of choice. They have to have one of three people, none of whom are lawyers, and you're going to go against the handpicked team for the governor. Just garbage, And if you want to know who to thank for that, you could thank the Senate leadership at that time. And I'll tell you, it's cruising to that same kind of path this time around, too. When you look at how the Senate is right now and who's really in charge of everything, the majority has definitely switched hands from the teams. And the people who ran and really oversaw some kind of a terrible miscarriage of justice. I don't know. That sounds pretty much, a little bit too much, right? But it was. I do remember some pretty intense emotions watching this thing and just being so upset at how they would just totally allow that kind of stuff to happen and set it up perfectly for it to happen that way. And to purposefully try to limit the amount of information that was coming out of the Senate by working with the Legislative Bureau to prevent the dissemination of video and audio as it was happening, unless it was on the official channel, so that they could mute it and they could turn it off and not let anyone else do it. They would not let you do a live stream. They did not want to have, you could capture the video, but they wouldn't let you do live streaming broadcasts. And if they took a break, they wanted everyone to leave the chamber, which is not how that works. That's the only reason why I would want to run. Starting to think about that kind of stuff again. Just so I can unseat those asshats. I'm serious. I don't know. Why did I get so fired up this morning about that? It's not even like a French roast coffee. It's just a regular coffee. Because I was so pissed off at that whole thing. And maybe it's because you're here, Fabian, because they did mute you. Man, that pissed me off more than anything. Because he was going in there to talk specifically about the procedure, and they said that they were trying to limit what he was able to say during the public comment section. And yes, you're right. He was trying to speak about the procedure, and they're like, nope, you have to speak about what is on the agenda for that day. Which, by the way, I read the rules for the laws for public comment section, and it does not say that when you go to a public hearing of any sort or a public meeting, that you are limited to speaking about the topics on the agenda. It is just not there. You could go there and talk about your favorite recipe for finadini if you want to for 3 or 5 minutes, based on whatever the time limit is that they give you. And that's it. That's your 3 to 5 minutes. But he was interrupting him during his speech, during his should have been free speech during his public comment section, and then eventually muted him and had him removed. He instructed them to remove him. Just absolute crap. Like, that guy should not be in office for that, because he was trampling all over the rights of a veteran. And it's not that it's just a veteran, right? You just put that in there on top of it too, because that's a guy who volunteered. He wasn't drafted. He volunteered to serve in the defense of the rights of everybody else in our Commonwealth and our country. The same rights that jackass was taken away from him. Jeez, where are you getting so fired up, Brad? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Well, I'll tell you because I'm still pissed off about that, man. I haven't tapped into those thoughts for a while, but I remember it. I was really upset, man, when I saw them cutting off your right to free speech during the public comment section, that they were purposefully trying to restrict you to just that topic, to just that portion, because you are absolutely entitled to be able to speak about that stuff. And that is something that I hope our next round of lawmakers clarify in some sort of some legislation to say that absolutely the public comment section, you can't read War and Peace for hours, but but in your 3 to 5 minutes, you could say whatever it is that you want to say. Granted, you don't want to say hate speech and threats and stuff like that. You can't do that. But you are able to talk about anything in that's why it's a public comment section. And the other part of that is that you say, hey, you can only limit it to what's on the agenda. When you change the agenda, when the very first rule, the very first action that you end up doing is to suspend the rules so that you can amend the agenda. So people don't even know what's going on there. Oh, but we published it 3 days in advance. Oh, you did. And then on that day, you vote to amend the rule and sneak other stuff in there. Well, we don't mean to be sneaky, but you do it. So if you're going to do stuff like that, it's so disingenuous to try to limit somebody's public comment. And how often are you doing it just to avoid getting someone in there to give their public comments? Oh, man, I'll tell you, all these kind of things, this is the same stuff. And this is why you can't forget what the heck happened 2 years ago when they were going through all this stuff. And then as we're getting close to the anniversary, like this is around the time 2 years ago when the boost was introduced, right? It all goes to that same stuff. It's the same pool of people that did this crap. The people who limited Fabian's free speech in the public comment section and attempted to limit everybody's access to what was actually happening in the Senate, not in the House, in the Senate, in Jude Hofschneider's Senate as Senate president. He was trying to limit access to me, even. Mm-hmm. Yep. Who else? And he was doing it through Perry. And then trying to limit the pace of an investigation in the House by suggesting to their clients that they be best served by getting all their questions read and translated, when they know damn well that they operate without any problem in their everyday professional lives without being requested to do that. It was clearly being used as one thing and just an obstacle to get information out, to slow down an investigation, to prevent the flow of information. And now you see it again with what they're doing with this court case. They shouldn't be the GOP, they should be the STOP, because they don't want anything to move. And I don't have anything against the whole parties, but that's who these folks are for this one here. Everything that happened with the gov, with the impeachment, and then with this trial here, it's all these folks. And they're all that's who they are. They're all part of that same thing. You go to any of these pocket meetings, these are the folks who are there. And again, it's not all Republicans. No. It's like at the heart of it, I'm a Republican. I can't stand the far left, stuff. I hate all of this stuff. But like, I can't deal with the people who are completely milquetoast, and I can't deal with the people who are completely psycho on the other side either. But this one in particular is just crazy. And the same band of folks just all together, and you see their names here. And that's why, I think it's all coming together. Is why it bothers me so much, is because then you see these same folks hanging out at certain people's pocket meetings and events and stuff like that. and that our community doesn't want these people to be running it anymore. They don't want them to be the shot callers anymore. And I get that. Maybe it's just a small group of them, right? But you can't let this stuff go. The investigations into this stuff can't stop. You got to drill down all the way so it's not just a conversation. But like at every corner, you need to let that stuff surface. You know, any of these businesses who, not the Boost businesses overall, but just the ones who got it because they were like a direct familial relation to the 3-person panel that were on that. Oh, fires me up, baby. Hey, the phone lines are open. 789-2323, 670-789-2323. And hopefully, I'm not saying that we need justice, but I just want some progress on this stuff. You know, I would love to have, like last night's baseball game, we had umpires who kept that baby moving, like a minute or less between innings, right? Not between pitches, between innings. Hustle in, hustle out. That game was moving. Of course, it's 2 of the best teams in the league, and it was going. We need a judge who's going to do that for this kind of stuff. Someone who's going to see through this blatant BS and just say, hey, noted, continue. Like, that's what we really need. Hey, Brad, who are you? I'll tell you who I am. I'm a regular guy who lives here and tired of seeing this bullshit that absolutely needs to just go forward and do this. Man, I'll tell you, these judges who are here, I swear I am happy that we have the judges that we have. We got some great folks in there. I think the whole, saying there's a conflict for everything because they're related to your brother, sisters, nephews, cousin, whatever it is, just because you could trace it somewhere down to to Magellan. You gotta listen to the case. Unless you're saying, not because of the appearance of a conflict, but if you're saying that you are unable to do your job, you're unable to render an objective decision, then you can conflict yourself out. But just because of any other relations, if you're only trying to avoid the appearance of conflict, that's one thing. But that's not enough. Not here. Because there's no way that you're able to be, to have ever crossed paths with somebody. We need our local judges to do it instead of these guys from Guam to oversee our cases for a lot of reasons. One is because we don't have the ability as citizens to render a decision on how we feel about their performance. We're only able to render a decision based on the performance of our local judges. And we should, of course, we vote on that, on their retention. And we should trust that the people that we put in those positions can appoint the right judge pro tems. The problem is that if those guys run afoul here, we have no recourse. So we end up getting people rendering decisions that we don't like as a community. And they're like, no, I don't live here. They won't appreciate that point of view for sure. But sorry. Sorry is right. If everybody had a specific business dealing with one of those folks, I get it. But the mere appearance of a conflict doesn't mean there's a conflict. I know. I got the call coming in. I just got to find the phone. Here it is. All right, one moment. Half a day, good morning, and Zantiro. This is the Good Morning Marianas. Who's this?
Hey, this is Fabian. Good morning, sir.
Holy cow, Fabian in Delatio. Good to see you. How are you?
Sir. I'm pretty good, sir. Thank you so much. I'm pretty good, pretty good.
That's great, man. I had a great time. We got to go out and had some breakfast, and man, that was great. We got to do that again.
Right on, right on.
But I need to start eating healthy like you. You ate the healthy one. I'm telling you, next time we go to that same place, I'm going to order the same thing.
Right on, right on. Right on, my friend. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Hey, so what's shaking? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you very much for bringing up that, incident in the Senate. I'm glad you're really, recapping on that. Yeah, for that. For the people, for all of those that did not even hear that incident was for real, man.
Man, I was so mad. 2 years later, I'm still upset about it.
Don't be, you just have to tackle it, for that day, I was just confronting them about their strategy to spend $200,000 for the Kensington bill and having a lot of VIP, invitation on that. They're just going all out with the tax dollars on that. So I was just basically confronting them, and they're just cutting me off. And thank God I was recording myself on that day. When I just confronted them, what a corrupted group, I stated on that podium, one of the senators, Victor Hochul, just told me the F word, and that just exploded everything. After that, he was just charging on me, and man, it was just a nightmare. That was a legendary a comment from Senator Hochul. That was just go down the history,
Yeah, it was tough to watch, and then he instructed the sergeant at arms to remove you from the chamber, and you weren't being ridiculous or disrespectful or anything. You were just trying to get your point across, and still being really professional about that whole thing. But I could see the look on the face of the sergeant. They didn't want to do anything to you. They didn't want to take you out either.
Yeah, because they needed to be confronted about that particular session, that it was all, a rush, and it was just all staged as to, trying to get a date over what the lower legislature are trying to do that morning. Yeah, so they're trying to beat the lower house because they want to come up with a date of the SOCA, the State of the Commonwealth Address for the governor, right. And it's all for campaign.
Yeah, and you were talking about procedural stuff. So even if they were trying to say that you were not able to speak about anything else other than what's on the agenda, thing is, the agenda is part of the agenda. You were trying to talk about that whole process.
They were trying to make that session like as if it's an emergency, and that's why they're telling me it's not an emergency, but in a sense they're trying to rush it through.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened, and that was the oh, we lost you. Call us back, Fabian. Call us back if you can hear us. Not sure what happened. I just saw the signal cut out, so I got the phone ready. If you call back, we're ready for you. Not sure what happened there. So we'll kind of hang out for a couple minutes. Hopefully he'll call us back. But man, that was a disappointing time. Well, I'm still fired up about that. Fabian, call us back. Maybe he had low battery on the phone. But that is great to have him call in. Really, it is terrific that he got in there. Oh, here we go. Hey, did your phone die? What happened?
Oh, no. I got 100%.
Okay. Sorry, I'm like, no, how do we lose you? What happened? All right.
But, man, this is a great conversation because, that particular day, even the police officers, I told them that, this is probably not going to go anywhere. And they just exactly did what I was thinking. They just didn't pursue anything to shove under the rug on that case.
Well, I don't know what's going to happen with it now. We were talking about what was going on in the court for the overall thing for the gov right now. for all the travel stuff and all that he's got and the contempt. And so that part and how the legal counsel is going again, trying to get rid of the contract that hired Kingman as the special prosecutor, then turned into assistant attorney general, trying to get in there. It just seems like a big distraction, but it's all part of the same thing. I mean, the same group, the same people pulling the strings.
They're good at it, and now look what's happening in the Senate right now. They just flipped the majority to, now the majority now is the minority, and that's what's sad because of the Senate president has been just, I think, it's a sucker to just about those group of people. They're manipulating her, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know where that where it started, but it did start somewhere where there was a big falling out because they were all singing "Kumbaya" for a while. They were all on the same team.
I think you noticed the resignation of our president of the Senate. That should tell you a lot. Why she abandoned the Democrats. Yeah. Just kind of like that sink in because that's basically where she's at. Regardless that she's running independent, she's pretty much endorsed and supported, in my opinion, by the Republican Party at the present time. And the Republican Party right now are so desperate in recruiting again, bringing up their numbers because everybody pretty much follows the president governor as an independent, but all of them are pretty much also a Republican. That's my opinion again, and I'm seeing it very crystal clear.
Yeah, there's definitely been the seat of power has definitely changed in the Senate when the Senate president started gravitating a lot closer to the three folks from Tinian and then also Senator Mendiola. So I mean, that's where it's a real demonstration of that's why I think Tinian is single-handedly keeping the GOP together because they're staying strong together, keeping everybody on the same team, on the same platform. They're even for their Senate seat and for their representative seat, they are not. They're running unopposed, right?
Yeah.
And their unity, and they pick up one seat from Rhoda, so they got 4, and they're all together, and then they pick up the Senate president, and there you go. Nothing that you're going to get out of Patrick San Nicolas out of Tinian, right? I mean, he's the one representative for Tinian versus all the other representatives is it's a very uphill battle.
Patrick right now is very insignificant because he's in the lower house, and the lower house is it's pretty much solid. However, in the upper house, the Senate, where he did a number that went on to the other side, sure really changed the the number that makes the Tinian senators, the 3 senators there, then is become the majority right now. So it was a flip. That's the reason why, in my opinion, he just led the Democrat because it's already obvious that she was supporting the Republican Party. You remember the time when she was screaming out in the Senate chamber. That was kind of out of line for me. When screaming out to the administration, pertaining to the public funds, that there's a lot of money, and screaming to the people that don't let this administration lie to you.
Yeah, I do remember that for sure.
Yeah, that's when I saw already that she was on the other side.
Well, it's definitely.
Yeah, and she was.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That's the reason why I noticed that she was on the other side already when she was screaming out to the public that don't be lied by this administration regarding the money that there's still a lot of money. That's what she's claiming, and I think the GOP was basically whispering to her to scream that out, and she's just gonna take it upon herself to say that she's gonna do an open government act to the Bank of Guam account where the public general fund is deposited, and that never succeeded because she's just screaming out of her head without even considering that. In my opinion, she should confer with the entire Senate committee, or at least the the entire new senators, entire senators of the cinema. Yeah, she was just screaming up, very negligent on her part to just claim all that herself to do that. Common sense.
Yeah, it strikes me as funny every time I hear, and I've heard it from, for the last couple of iterations of elected officials, but when our elected officials have to file an Open Government Act, we're talking about the Senate president shouldn't have to file an Open Government Act to get that kind of information from from our Secretary of Finance. It's a different branch of government, right? But still, that should be something that's provided pretty easy, right? I mean, I don't think the Open Government Act I thought was designed more for like media organizations or regular citizens who are asking for that kind of stuff, who were being denied that kind of information, and then they are forced to go through that process of the Open Government Act. Like it's your way around that kind of an obstacle. I don't know why that the Secretary of Finance or any other executive level agency would deny anybody that kind of info on its face.
Yeah, but she went too far by trying to do an Open Government Act through the Bank of Guam.
Oh, through the Bank of Guam. Yeah, that should be something that we would get, because if she's not a signatory on it, they can't do anything with it. She would have to go through Secretary of Finance. And
she failed for that.
Mm-hmm. So.
It would be an embarrassment for her and the president, not even, doing her research on that. That's just kind of put her in competition of her decision to be screaming about those kind of, power that she doesn't have that. What a shame.
Yeah, it's too bad. I don't hold procedural mistakes like that against anyone too heavy, because man, I screw up stuff all the time. But
that should be a discussion among the senators. To get more leverage on her part. What would be the proper procedure? But it's just, it was fun.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, though. You should have discussed it with the other folks to make sure they're doing the right thing and looking good. That's one of the problems about the politics, is that there's so many different things that folks are trying to consider, and some of them is thinking, oh, I have a PR advantage if I make a big stink about this publicly and loud and all that stuff, right? And that shouldn't be really the role for these guys, right? I mean, their role should be they're lawmakers. Make some laws, or find out ways to fix the laws that we have right now.
One thing I'm glad about this anime news, that you kind of bringing these things up, and now we're just making them accountable for it and exposing them. Just like exactly what I was doing. So good job, and let it roll and let them be accountable as to what they're doing up there with a lot of the news you're doing. So keep it up. I'm so happy.
Well, thanks, man. You're great, dude. You got the best laugh in the CNMI. I'll tell you that.
Thank you, brother. All right. Okay, Brad. Thanks a lot, man. Let's keep it up. And happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Let's meet up again.
You too. Okay, take care.
All right, you too. Take care.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye-bye. That is Fabian Endelatio. Thanks for calling. He's our first caller this morning. Our number is 789-2323. We are open. When you see this happening, this means our phone lines are open, 789-2323. And no, I tell you, it doesn't matter. You don't have to agree with me when you call either. You don't have to have the same thought. You can say, Brad, you're full of stuff. And you say, you're so any of that you're absolutely able to do that. It's not the I'm calling just because I agree with you line. It is you. This is your show as much as it is my show. And that's it. That's it. We definitely want you to call with your opinions and your thoughts about this kind of stuff, right? Totally fair, totally listen to it. Might not agree with everything that you guys got, but that's it. That's what this stuff does. We share this stuff, talk about the issues that are happening here in the CNMI, and what means the most, what's the most important thing to you, and then we'll talk about that. That's what we get to do. It's like we get to hang out and talk about this kind of stuff. That's what this whole thing is. All right. Tell you what, though, we can't do it if we don't have some sponsors, and we've got some great ones, by the way. So I got to tell you a little bit about them. So let's talk about this one first. Oh, it's the share one. Let me turn off the share. Hold on. I had these set up for the baseball game last night. This one is one of our newest ones. It's Paradise Dental Spa. If you don't know about the Paradise Dental Spa, they're located on Middle Road in Gualo Rye. It's that really cool orange building that's got the big sign that says Paradise Dental Spa. Oh, pretty conspicuous, right? But here's the cool thing. How many times have you tried to go and get a checkup somewhere and they tell you that Medicaid is not accepted? Well, if you have Medicaid, you are in luck, because not only do they accept it, they are looking for you. They want to be your dentist. They want to be your dental service provider. Reach out to Paradise Dental Spa. Their number is 234-4040, 234-4040, because chances are whatever you need, it's going to be covered. If you need to get an extraction or a filling, that is covered if you have Medicaid. No out-of-pocket expenses at all. And if you're under 20, it's even bigger. So that means your kids, or, well, you, if you're under 20 and you have Medicaid, that's your cleanings, your checkups, you name it. Don't wait until you get a toothache. Go down to Paradise Dental Spa. Give them a call and at 234-4040 and find out why more people are moving to Paradise Dental Spa to make them their dentist of choice. Great spot, I'll tell you. I enjoy the people down there, and they don't just fix your smile, they make you smile when you go down there. Other folks that we got, of course, since day one, IT&E, providing us with all the bandwidth that we need to bring this show to you and everything that we do, whether it's the morning show or the live coverage, the going out on the streets and doing the press conferences and covering stories as they happen, the election coverage, the parade coverage, you name it. If we're covering it, it's because IT&E has given us the bandwidth to make that happen. So when you're wondering how you're going to accomplish stuff, don't worry about what you're going to do. Just ask Blue and see what they can do for you. Also, Godfathers, they have the best pizza in Saipan. If you haven't tried it, then, boy, why are you keeping that from yourself? Your life could be so much better if you just went, oh, no. Hold on. Wait. Let me try that again. That blue screen is hilarious because it was just one. There we go. Look at this. Yay, Godfathers. You are just one slice of pizza away from having a great day. Go down to Godfathers. They've got a great happy hour. They've got great food. Of course, they've got great music and great people down there. Go down there and try a slice of Saipan's best pizza. And if you don't have lunch plans already, make your lunch plans at Godfathers, because they have so many meal deals available over there. There's some of the best sandwiches on fresh bread that they make right there. There's no bread like it in Saipan. It's awesome. And it's $12.95 for your lunch. Oh, man. Yesterday, we went down there late. I ended up getting the sliders, the 3 small cheeseburgers. It was more than I can handle. I had to split it with Trey. Trey came down there, and they give you the choice of fries or tater tots. Best tater tots I ever had. I don't know how you can make them that crispy, but they were so good. I fail every time I try to make them like that. That was outstanding and loved it. Didn't hurt that they have $4.99 beer on tap too for lunchtime. Yeah, lunchtime beers. No, it's not sketchy. It's awesome. Just be smart about it. I'll tell you what. The other thing is next week they start the unlimited pizza lunch day. It's all for dine-in. You can't take it out, but it starts next week. $10, and it is unlimited pizza. It's a pizza buffet. And it also includes, your choice of all the different pizzas. But they have the beer on tap, too, at $4.99 a pint. And, oh, man, it's awesome. That starts next week. And it's from 11 o'clock in the morning to 1:30. So that's 2.5 hours. That's a lot of pizza. You can really get down on a lot of pizza. All right. The other one that we're going to tell you about real quick, Laddie Built, 24-Hour Fitness. We talk about these guys all the time. Just got done talking with Derek Cutting, Coach D, and they've got a brand new smoothie menu and protein shake menu that they are just finalizing, and that's going to be even better. And we're going to take a bunch of photos of that and show them to you guys and let you check them out for yourselves. But They've got, I'm telling you, it's the newest gym in Saipan. They've been around for a long time, but they got that facility at the beginning of this year. They've got the greatest equipment, free weights. They got an octagon in there. They've got a cold plunge. They've got a sauna. They've got the spin bikes, machines, free weights, certified fitness trainers, supplements. They got some cool gear. They've got some great smoothies and everything like that. Oh, man, it's just a great spot to be. You don't want to miss out. The only thing that they need is you. So get down there and check them out for yourself and find out about the Laddie Built difference. We have more sponsors we want to tell you about, but we'll tell you about later. First thing is, though, here's a little something to give you a little taste of what you're missing out on.
Persistence of build, be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a Lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence of build, be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
It's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Motion.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it, and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, it's just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above, that's on a holiday, that's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E. Good morning, Marianas. It's 8:04 here on Friday, September 5th. Well, September 6th. It's September 5th in the mainland, which is where we get the updates from the AP headline news. And going to give you that one here in a little bit because the 8 o'clock update just dropped. So we're going to get you everything you need to know about what's happening in the U.S. and around the world from the Associated Press.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Hunter Biden's entered a surprise guilty plea to federal tax charges, avoiding a criminal trial months after his conviction in a separate gun case. Meantime, Hai Panjwani has the latest on former President Trump's legal cases.
A lawyer for Donald Trump has clashed with the judge in the federal election interference prosecution of the former president after suggesting the government was rushing forward with an illegitimate indictment at the height of the White House campaign. The hearing in federal court in Washington was the first in the case in nearly a year. Prosecutors and defense lawyers are bitterly at odds over the next steps in the case. In July, the U.S. Supreme Court narrowed the prosecution's scope by ruling that former presidents are entitled to broad immunity from criminal charges. Haya Panjwani, Washington.
Trump himself addressed the Economic Club of New York, touting his approach to the economy.
In every decision I asked, will I create jobs here or will I be sending jobs overseas? Will it make America richer and stronger or will it make our country weaker and poorer? I always put America first, every single time.
Vice President Kamala Harris is spending the next several days in Pittsburgh, where she'll prepare for next week's presidential debate. President Biden traveled to Wisconsin to announce new grants.
$7.3 billion in grants to 16 electrical co-ops nationwide to help rural communities transition to clean, affordable, reliable energy. It's the most significant transformative investment in electrification and clean energy for rural America since FDR's New Deal.
The teen charged with opening fire at a Georgia high school was interviewed by authorities last year about a menacing post on the social media site Discord. At the time, he denied threatening to carry out a school shooting. 4 people were killed and 9 wounded yesterday. This is AP News. The latest weekly economic numbers: 5,000 fewer Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week, 227,000, the lowest level in 2 months. Long-term mortgage rates held steady. Freddie Mac puts the average 30-year at 6.35%. The 15 eased to 5.47. Meantime, Wall Street slump continues.
I'm Seth Sutel, and this is the AP Markets Report. Stocks closed mostly lower on Wall Street following some mixed reports on the economy. The S&P 500 lost 0.3%, its third loss in a row. The benchmark index is on track for its worst week since April. The Dow gave back 219 points. It's about 0.5%. The Nasdaq Composite edged up 0.3%. JetBlue rose more than 7% after raising its forecast for revenue in the summer. Markets are looking ahead to the government's monthly report on the job market. That's due out early Friday. Treasury yields moved lower in the bond market. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note fell to 3.73%. Seth Sutel, New York.
And I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
Okay, it is 8:08 in the morning here on Friday. Chicken's in full effect as we get ready for the last few hours before the weekend kicks off. For us, it's pretty much here already. Hopefully we get you guys through the day also, having a little bit of fun while you're at the office. I know a lot of you guys get to watch this at different times of the day, too. Sometimes you're able to watch us as we're going live in the morning. Sometimes you got to wait until later in the day when you catch a break, maybe around lunchtime, maybe in the afternoon. We'll take what we can get. We're totally fine with that. If you do tune in, though, later today, at 10:20 is the kickoff between the Ravens and the Chiefs. That's right. The NFL action resumes this week, and it resumes this morning, and we're going to be covering it for sure. And we'll be talking about all the different. Ooh, geez, sorry about that. But here's what I will do. I'll do this in the background. We're going to end up covering the game. We're going to broadcast during the game. We're going to cover the whole season and keep track of everything that's happening out there. And going to pick every week, every single game, and see how we do against against the real schedule, how it actually turns out. So that starts today. We look forward to seeing how we end up pulling this thing off. I think we got a pretty good handle on it. You know, tonight I'm excited to see what the Chiefs end up doing today, because they look stronger on paper, at least, than they do. They look like they're having fun already in preseason, like the most relaxed team. Now, that's dangerous because I'm not sure if they're not too worried about winning, because they know as long as they get into the playoffs, they're going to be in good shape and they'll have a chance to get through it and get to the Super Bowl, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get to the Super Bowl for the third year in a row and three-peat. Something never been done in the NFL. And it'll be interesting to see if they could do it. I want to see if they could do it. I don't love, like, the one thing the Buffalo Bills have going for us in history is that we made it to 4 consecutive Super Bowls. Yeah, we lost them. I know. You don't have to bring that up. But it's the only thing we got. We made it to 4 in a row. And the Chiefs are just so dang good. They could do that, but and win. Oh, Louisa, you're a Ravens fan? You know, I don't know. Those guys, they perform well in the regular season, but they fail in the playoffs. That's just what I see from them. And they played the Bills a couple times in the playoffs, and they did not look good. We'll see how they do this year, though, because Lamar Jackson is just outstanding as an athlete. Guy can throw, he can run. The big knock on him is that he can't come through when they need it the most. Oh, you lived in Maryland. I'm a fan when they win. I love it. Hey, that is great. That has to be so convenient. As a Bills fan, I don't have that choice because we often don't win. And I'm from Buffalo, and you're not given a choice. If you grow up in Buffalo and you're not a Bills fan, I won't say you're excommunicated, but you're pretty close. It's like villages that cast out people if you're not a Bills fan. If you're living in Buffalo and you're from Buffalo and you're hanging like a Jets or a Dolphins or Patriots banner outside, well, be admonished. Ray Lewis was always my favorite player. Oh, yeah, he was pretty good. Pretty amazing. You guys think there's a great highlight where Chad Ochocinco was going to try to give him a chip on a pass play. He just got rocked. You're seeing stars on his way to the bench afterwards. And the funny thing is he was talking to Ray Lewis about it, not like right after the play, but later after the game. He's like, man, I didn't even feel it. He just ran into a brick wall, got flattened. Yeah, Ray Lewis is really good. He's really good at hiding white suits also. That's a bit of a deep cut, but not really a team fan, but a player fan. Yeah, that's cool. I get that. I get that too. So living here since 2003, but really I left New York in the end of 2002 for my traveling stuff. And, I got to see the rise of Tom Brady from afar, not being in Buffalo as it happened. I mean, I saw the first season and a half. But I'll tell you, I developed more of an appreciation for greatness. I never hated Tom Brady, even though he beat the crap out of the Bills over and over and over again. I was just in awe of his greatness, really. I mean, that's what it is. It was absolute greatness. Whether he was crushing for the Patriots or even when his first year he goes to Tampa, turns them into a Super Bowl team. Incredible. I would have loved to have seen him keep going. It was really great. Ooh. So Chuck's got me on the Seahawk train for now. He's a diehard 12. Man, I'll tell you what. I have at my house a coin that I got from a Bills game in, was it 91? It was the Bills and the Broncos, and it's the 12th man coin. I don't think in the 90s the Seahawks fans were called the 12s. I thought that started in Buffalo. Now, we used to call it the 12th man. In fact, on our Ring of Fame inside, it says 12th man. So you only get on there if you do something great, but they did that to acknowledge the fan base, right? And I don't think I started hearing about the 12s until like the 2000s for the Seahawks. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I caught games in the Kingdom when it was still there. And that place was loud. That was great. That's what back in my Army and then right after Army days when I stayed out there. It was a great place. I also saw the Bills play in Kansas City at Arrowhead. Whoa. Arrowhead is a great stadium. A great stadium for football with great football fans. And I loved being there as a Bills fan in Kansas City, even though we lost 2002, because the fans were just really nice. They were like fervent fans, but they weren't like Philly fans. So I'll tell you, in Arrowhead, who was their quarterback? Was it Trent? What was the guy? The guy who was going to be the quarterback for the Rams before he got injured. And then Kurt Warner got in and never gave it up. What's the guy's name? Trent something. Boy. Well, anyway, so he was leading the 49ers on the drive where they were going to take the lead for good. Like they were going to pad the stats with a little bit of time left so the Bills wouldn't be able to do anything about it. And I'm at the end zone side. I'm in about like halfway up, all the way from the top upper deck all the way down to the field. I'm somewhere in the middle and off to the side a little bit. Under the cover too. And it's pretty quiet, because you want to be quiet when your team's getting up to the goal line. You're going to make they're going to call the play. You don't want it to be difficult for your team to hear it, right? So hush falls over the stadium. You can almost hear him, 27, 13. And so as he's barking out the signals, I just let out, again, the stadium full of Chiefs fans. Let's go, Buffalo! I swear to God, it felt like 70,000 heads all turned and looked at me at the same time. It gave me a little bit of a stink face. And they go in and they score the touchdown, right? But when they looked at me, I'm like, hey. And then we were laughing afterwards. They scored the touchdown. They end up winning the game. That's it. And but it was funny. And even walking out through the parking lot and everything, no, the fans were super nice, welcoming and everything. Kansas City's a really good place to go watch a football game. Whether you're a Chiefs fan or someone else, you could easily get pulled in to be a Chiefs fan there because they're just good fans. It's a good fan base. It's a good football town. Seattle's the same way, but I mean, Seattle they don't have tailgating like what I'm accustomed to from Buffalo. Kansas City does, where you got that big parking lot area all over. Like Pittsburgh, a couple years ago, went to Pittsburgh and saw the Steelers play against the Bears on Monday Night Football. And they've got parking lots all over the city, small ones all around the stadium. So it's not like that one centrally located giant parking lot. But holy crap, that whole city was on fire. I mean, it was just like one big party. Everywhere you go, you're just going to it's like the next room of a party. And it was just a bigger party at every block, people having a good old time. I mean, it smelled like pot too. I mean, it could have changed the name to Pottsburg. People were really smoking over there, walking through the streets. It could not help but smell. I smelled it everywhere. And it was great. In fact, we went there and we became, just for one night, Steelers fans. Not like I don't like the Steelers anyway. I mean, like, I like them. They're a good football town. A lot of good folks. Oh, I can't show you. Let's see if I can pull it up. Again, it's a good football town. Can I pull this up without actually being on it? Yeah. And let's go to videos. I know I got it on the gram. But is this it? Is that hockey or is that the football game? Let's see. That's downtown Buffalo. See if I can't show you just a video, a quick one. When we were in the stadium. No, I think all this stuff just goes back too far. I just went to my Facebook page. I know I'm broadcasting on Facebook, so I'm just looking at my personal Facebook page. Okay, here we go. See if I can't pause it first, and I'll show you this video. Okay, as long as it doesn't start. This was pretty wild. I'll go to the share screen here so you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at. Kapow. All right, there you go. Let me turn this one off. This is, okay, so let me set the stage for what you're about to see. Right there, you've got the, I still have those flags up from last night. We were doing the baseball thing on the main one. All right, so anyway, what we're looking at here, that is the field. Those are the seats that I had with my sister and my nephew. And it looks like it's a little off center, but we'll fix that. You'll see it. Terrible towels. Yep, it was great. And the Steelers had just scored at the end of the third quarter. And then to start the fourth quarter, this is a tradition in Pittsburgh. All the lights go out. I'm not kidding. All the lights went out. This is Monday Night Football. And do I have this on here? I'm looking to see if I have this one. Renegade. So that Renegade song, I know I have it. I'm not seeing it. 1 second. Oh, no. Where is it? It's so great. Do I have it here? Here we go. So, all the lights are out when you hear this. And then with the heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. And that's for that bum, bum. The lights flash on for that. Again, it's dead quiet in here. Bum, 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 bum. And that's the flashlight. All the lights just flash bright at that time, right? And then here, it's louder again. Bum, 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 bum. And I'm like, what is going on? And then this place ignites. 70,000 people jumping up and down, going absolute crazy because they are getting ready to do the kickoff now to start the fourth quarter. And everybody's jumping up. Just watch this. That's the lead-in just to that, all right? That is how this thing starts. And, man, it's going to be something. Everybody is jumping around, right? It seems kind of normal. Wait till you see this. Everybody is going nuts. So we decided to become Steelers fans. See the Bears fans there dressed like Ditka. Anyway, we bought jerseys and we're wearing full-on Steelers gear just for this night. And we'll set this up. You're going to see the opening kickoff here. So now this is during their commercial break. They're all lined up for the kickoff, and they are getting ready. And I swear to you, this place, after this happens, the whole stadium was shaking because people were going nuts after this. So they just scored. They're kicking off now. They just scored a field goal is what happened. There wasn't a touchdown. And so you got the kicker. Now the kicker's feeling all jacked up. He's like, yeah, I just got a field goal. All right, here it goes. And boom, right? The kickoff, which they're not doing like this anymore this season. Here comes the play. They're running up here, up the side. Turns out, they pop him. There's a fumble, and the kicker recovers it. Look at this place was just shaking. It was bedlam. This is a great place to watch football, folks. Heinz Field, or whatever they call it now. It was just bedlam down there in Pittsburgh. Yep, and so again, recovered by the kicker too. You can't beat it. You cannot beat that. That was amazing. Just amazing. Oh boy, I'll tell you, just watching that got me going. But I'll tell you, those sound effects there and the lighting. I didn't get it from the beginning because if I knew that was something that's how they did it, I would have had my camera phone ready to go. But just all of a sudden, all the lights. It was just dark out there. I mean, you could see like the safety lights on around and stuff like that. But then you hear the music. I thought the power went out or something, like Beyonce in the Super Bowl. But nope. You just start hearing it from the beginning. I just had it. You just hear this.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the Lord.
And then people start to get excited. Boom, 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 boom. And then it just kept going and got progressively more and more intense. People get more and more exciting. That, I'm telling you, you guys got to experience that for yourself. It was amazing. I mean, you're looking at right there. I know it's hard to fathom, right? You know, especially like growing up out here or just living out here, that in that stadium, there's more people than all of the Northern Marianas put together. It's incredible. Just incredible. And the amount of energy. I mean, you know how it is when all of us get together for big events and, you know, that energy feels great, right? Get all excited about stuff. Whoa. So imagine that's gonna be happening tonight, well, this morning for us in Kansas City when the Chiefs host the Ravens. Excuse me, in their first game since winning the Super Bowl. So that is going to be something. Oh my gosh. That was back from 2021. And I got the whole play. What happened? Yeah, that's it. Look, there's the whole description. Oh man, that was good times. That was great times. I absolutely love doing that. Oh no, I'm not going to play it again. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that because I certainly did. Man, that was great. That's what you got. Leonard Sablon says 23-20 Baltimore. Yeah, let's see your predictions. I am definitely interested. I am definitely here for your predictions. I want to hear what you think is going to happen tonight between the Chiefs and the Ravens. Again, we're just 2 hours away from kickoff. A little bit less than 2 hours away now. But, you know, they're going to have all those commercials and everything at the beginning. So probably it'll be a little bit after 10:20. But we're going to have our show. We're going to broadcast the whole time during the game. And that should be fun. It's going to be something. I really thought about doing it last year. And then I had a real job. Working for somebody else. I'm like, I can't do this. And I thought about it every single week. Oh, gosh. I could be doing this instead. I could be showing the games. I could be talking about this stuff. We could be watching this stuff together. I could be doing highlights and all this stuff. No. You have to have a real job. This year, not the same. We're going all in on this, baby. And we're going to be covering these games today. So give us your predictions. Leonard's on board already. 23-20 Baltimore for him. I don't know who I got. I think I'm going to have to lean for the Chiefs in this one. And I'm going to go, I'm not sure if it's going to be a high-scoring affair, but I feel like it's going to be 27-20. I think it's going to be like 27-20, but the other way. I'll put it in there. Okay, hold on. Prediction. 27-20 KC. KC barbecue. Yeah, I think it's just going to be like a touchdown game. But I like your call too. That's reasonable. It's not like we're talking about the Bears super fans. It's going to be 72 to -3. The Bears. No, I think this one's going to be pretty legit. Tobot, who you got? By the way, Tobot sent me a great video this morning. That was good. That was good. You know, the Tip Man from Dan has done so much stuff for me and for the show. If you don't know Chris, he's just a good dude, a good person, period. And, man, you know, I don't really gush enough about you, buddy, but I'll tell you, you know, I got to have a couple of really good conversations with him about like some personal stuff and the struggle of trying to do it and coming to terms with just going for it. And I can't tell you, it's just so nice. You get such a great receptive ear from just a good person who just genuinely is open for that kind of stuff. I really appreciate it. It's one of the things I did not expect when this whole show idea started and this whole news service thing started. Didn't expect that was going to be part of it. That I get to know you guys a little bit better and that we'd be covering talk about like real stuff, not just the issues, like having a conversation, have a couple of pops and talk about some real deals. But that's happening. Hey, I know we talked about, speaking of that, we were talking about Monday for Godfathers, right? So funny enough, let me make sure. I am supposed to now shoot a video at 10:30 on Monday. I'm not going to be able to do it. Can we reschedule that for Tuesday? Do you guys have plans on Tuesday? What is Tuesday? Let me look at that. That is Tuesday. Is Tuesday the 17th? No, it's not that late. It's the 10th. You guys want to do Godfather's Pizza, unlimited pizza on Tuesday, 11 o'clock? You want to meet down there? Because I think that's going to be a great call for us to do that. I want to try that. Unlimited pizza from 11 to 1:30. And I think we might need to take a nap afterwards. Yeah, you have an appointment Monday, so that's perfect. So what about Tuesday? Louisa, Chuck, what are you guys doing? You want to pizza this thing up on Tuesday? Yeah, let me know. You could put it in the comments or you could just WhatsApp me. I love this idea. Do this after talking about eating healthy with Fabian. I'm talking about like loading up on pizza on Tuesday at Godfather's at 11 o'clock for their unlimited pizza buffet. It actually starts on Monday at Godfather's, the pizza buffet. The unlimited pizza from 11 to 1:30. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm definitely thinking about that. All right. And we were just talking sports. Yes. Confer and let me know for sure. All right. Hey, we're going to take a real quick break. We're just going to get you guys the sports from the Associated Press. We come back, we'll hit more about our local stuff, and we'll find out for sure if we're going to do that pizza thing. But I can definitely do it. So we'll go from there. Here's your sports from the Associated Press.
AP Sports, I'm Bruce Morton. Tennis, a big day Wednesday for 30-year-old American Jessica Pegula at the U.S. Open. Correspondent Graham Agars has the story.
It was seventh time lucky for Pegula, finally pushing past the quarters to reach her breakthrough Final Four berth, and she did it in style, upsetting top seed Iga Swiatek 6-2, 6-4.
I thought I played, a really clean match, served pretty well, returned well. I feel like I didn't really do anything that bad and was able to kind of jump on her really early and I think frustrate her, and was able to keep my level even when she picked it up in the second set.
Pegula was disciplined and powerful. The pole totally thrown off a game, making 41 unforced errors. Pegula's win means there are now 2 American men and 2 American women in the New York semi-finals. That for the first time since 2003. Pegula next faces the unseeded Czech Karolina Muchova. Jannik Sinner beat Daniil Medvedev in 4. He faces Jack Draper.
Back with baseball, football, and more after this. On Wednesday, Shota Imanaga went 7 innings and combined with 2 other pitchers to no-hit Pittsburgh 12-0. Through an interpreter, Imanaga said he understood why skipper Craig Counsell pulled him after 7.
It's really important for me to stay healthy for the whole season, throw my innings, make my starts. So, he told me it's time to switch pitchers, and, I just trusted his judgment.
In Atlanta, the Braves had their way with the Rockies. Correspondent Gary McKillips files this report.
The Atlanta Braves scored 4 runs in the first, added an insurance tally in the 6th, and went on to defeat the Colorado Rockies 5-2. Brave starter Charlie Morton went 5 innings, giving up 2 runs on 5 hits and striking out 8.
I limited hard contact, especially when there was traffic, and I got swing and miss when I needed to. For the most part, I just wish it could have been more efficient.
Jared Kelnick keyed the Braves first with a 3-run home run, his 14th of the season, driving in Matt Olson and Travis d'Arnaud. Olson doubled, driving in Marcell Ozuna with the Braves' first run of the game.
In other National League action, the Cardinals took 10 innings to beat the Brewers 3-2. The Marlins walked off the Nationals in 10 by a count of 4-3, and the Diamondbacks defeated the Giants 6-4. In that game, Zach Gallen threw 6 innings of no-hit ball before calling it a night. In the American League, the White Sox ended a 12-game losing streak when they won at Baltimore 8-1. Orioles starter and loser Albert Suarez said his big mistake was giving the Chicago batters too many fat pitches.
Missing location. They were aggressive today. They took advantage of that. Like every time I'm behind in the count, if I throw the ball in the strike zone, they swing.
The Birds maintained their one-half-game lead in the East after the Yankees lost at Texas 10-6. Elsewhere in the AL, the Royals did their best to keep up with division-leading Cleveland. Correspondent Greg Eklund has details.
After combining to score just 3 runs in the first 2 games of the series, the Kansas City Royals erupted for 4 runs in the fourth en route to a 4-1 victory over the Cleveland Guardians. Royals newcomer Tommy Pham gave Kansas City the lead for good with a 3-run homer.
Very big. You see where we're at in the race, and with these teams coming up that we have to play, we need as many wins as possible.
The Twins lost at Tampa Bay 9-4. The Guardians now lead both KC and Minnesota by 4.5 games. In the other American League game, the Mariners squashed the Athletics 16-3. 5 interleague games on Wednesday. The Reds pummeled the Astros 12-5. The Mets beat the Red Sox 8-3. Phillies over Blue Jays 4-2. The Angels buried the Dodgers 10-1, and San Diego walked off Detroit in 10, 6-5. Pro football, when the NFL season begins, 3 teams will be starting rookie quarterbacks. They are Caleb Williams with the Bears, Jaden Daniels of the Commanders, and Bo Nix with Denver. And finally, golf's latest off-season showdown is set to feature a new and controversial twist. Correspondent Gethin Coolbaugh reports.
Golf Week reports there will be a made-for-TV match involving top players from the PGA Tour and Live Golf. The manager for world number 1 Scotty Scheffler and 5-time major champion Brooks Koepka confirms that Scheffler and Rory McIlroy will take on Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. Among details still to be announced were when in December the match would be held and on which course. It will be a rare occasion of players from the PGA Tour competing against players who defected for the Saudi riches of Live Golf in 2022 outside of majors and the Olympics.
Bruce Morton, AP Sports.
All right, Marianas. Good morning. It is 8:37 here in somewhat sunny Saipan. Not very sunny. It's a little gloomy, but that's not how your weekend's going to go. Your weekend's not going to be gloomy. That's a gloom. We're going to end up playing some baseball tonight. We're going to end up having a great weekend. And then somehow we're going to end up deciding that coming back to work on Monday is going to be just A-okay. But for now, we got another 20 minutes to hang out together and have some fun. Good morning, June. Good morning, Tobot. Oh, I know. I see the chicken. Man, I'll tell you, I definitely got more chickens lined up. We're not running out of chickens at all. Hey, I'll tell you another thing, though, we got to talk about is some of the water issues that are going on in the CNMI. And the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation is doing a really good job of trying to address all this stuff as it happens. And there's not an emergency or anything, but they did detect some of the PFAS again. What is that? Don't ask me to pronounce it because it's going to be awful. Okay, it's polyfluoroalkyl substances. There you go. PFAS. And so they are in the water for sure. The stuff that's coming over there by the airport. And it's because of all that flame retardant foam that they train with for the firefighters. They're the ones who have the most to deal with. But that stuff gets into the ground, kind of forever chemicals, and it gets into the water that they pump out from all those wells up there. And it shoots up to the Connetabla tank and the NMC tank, and that sends that water everywhere else. Now, it's still a low level. It's, what is it? The result is 104 parts per trillion. And the MCL, which stands for maximum contaminant level, is 70 parts per trillion. So, per trillion, right? So it's not good. You're not supposed to be drinking this kind of stuff. You could still wash your hands and you could still bathe with it and everything. But they're saying that if you, it says neither showering or bathing in the water is going to be bad for you. And that's okay. But they're saying if you're going to be preparing formula for your kids, for your infants, use bottled water, not the tap stuff from that. Also, if you're pregnant, nursing, infants, people who have been diagnosed by their healthcare provider to have comprised immune systems, you shouldn't be drinking the water or cooking with the water. You should be using bottled water instead. Now, that's in the meantime. Now, what are they doing about this? Well, CUC broke ground last year on a filtration process up by the airport. You notice those big things that look like missile silos are not missiles or silos. They are giant carbon filtration units that should help with all of that. This is an ongoing thing for us. We've got millions of dollars to help us address this stuff. But in the meantime, when the testing levels peak like this, they put out these kinds of alerts. So again, it's not an emergency, but it's one of the requirements that BECQ puts out that the CUC needs to let people know about this. So you can get all the information about like what kind of what kind of health risks that possibly could pose a concern. In fact, I'm going to put this in the comments so you guys can look at the actual legit flyer from CUC. Am I able to put it in the comments? I'm not, but I'll post it for you guys afterwards. And but they were talking about like the tank service area for these folks. I mean, it's literally from Connetabla all the way down the hill into Chonlalau and going up north all the way to Garapan, all the way up to Memorial Park and stops there along from Middle Road to the beach, from Memorial Park all the way up to the AK intersection and then up into Chalanquiza and Connetabla. Those are all the folks who get their water from the airport that gets pushed up to the Connetabla reservoir, and then gravity flows down to everywhere else. So that's the people who are affected by this one. So if you live in any of those areas, don't drink the water, at least now. You will be able to, but you just can't do it now, not until they do the next test that comes back at the lower levels. In fact, I mean, I have this thing. I can, let's see, can I share it to you guys real quick? At least so I could show it to you now. It's not going to come up super big on your phone right now if you're looking at it this way, but I can show it to you. But that's it. We'll post it individually. Toba says, I'm going to name myself Zori and file a lawsuit for getting stomachache from the water. Nice. Absolutely love it. All right, but that's the thing to know if you live in any of those tank service areas. The TSAs, they call them. It's not the one at the airport. They call it, but this is the airport TSA. Is that confusing? No, just totally. Anyway, that's from a test that they just did. They took the sample at the beginning of August, and they got the results about a week ago. Put out the notice to you guys now, and you're good to go. If it was an emergency, they would tell you right away. It's not an emergency, but this is what they're telling you to do. And there's more information available at some of the federal level stuff and even the state stuff. I love that. New York State Department of Health is one of the references that CUC gave for this stuff. So hooray, New York State. Good for us. Tobot, I know, I'm confused too. It's just a different kind of TSA. The tank service area, not the Transportation Security Administration. Different stuff. All right. Only got about 15 minutes to go. It's a great time for announcements. If you've got some out there, please let us know. The number is 789-2323, 789-2323. And I was a little bit conflicted. I wasn't sure which holiday to tell you about today, because just about every day has its own national or international whatever day. Like today, today is World Beard Day. So that's an excuse why I didn't shave this morning. You can hear it. Yeah, that's the sound of that little stubble going on there. It's World Beard Day. Today's also perfect for the start of the football season, National Tailgating Day. Oh, that's tomorrow. Wait, what day am I on? No. You turkeys. All right. Well, that's certainly changed things. I was on the 7th. That's awesome. You're a pro, Rab. All right, let's talk about day. Today actually is a pretty good day. Today is Fight Procrastination Day. Start tomorrow. Today's also National Chianti Day. Oh, man. It's my favorite kind of wine. I do like Cabernet Sauvignon, for sure. But Chianti, nothing beats a nice Chianti for me. I don't know if you're a wine person, but a nice Chianti on a cool rainy day or with a nice steak. Oh, I'll even take it with some pasta with red sauce. Actually, I'll take Chianti for just about anything, but I'm a Chianti guy for sure. And you can tell I'm a real highbrow wine guy because I started getting it because that was the kind of wine that had the wicker on the outside of the bottle. And I thought it was cool as a souvenir. Oh, I love it. Fabian, I'll eat the pizza for you, Brad. I can afford. Yes, you can. Tell you tomorrow, Fabian, let's do it. If you want to eat some pizza, join us tomorrow. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock at Godfather's. Best pizza in Saipan. It's not tomorrow. Sorry, Tuesday. Oh, my God, not tomorrow. Don't go there. I won't be there tomorrow. But Tuesday, 11 o'clock. Because next week, Monday to Wednesday, Godfather kicks off that unlimited pizza buffet lunch. $10.99. You get all the pizza you can handle from, what time is it? From 11 o'clock until 1:30. 2.5 hours of pizza. Hold on, let me open this up and I'll show you guys. I know we already have it on there, but that deal is just too good. And that food's gonna be just too good. Show me the pizza, new pizza, here we go. Yeah, $10.99 lunch buffet. Monday to Wednesday, unlimited pizzas, $4.99 for a draft mug of beer. No takeout, but it's 11 to 1:30. Best pizza. They make it right there. This is not ordering out from somewhere else. This is made right there at Godfather's. Their pizza ovens. Oh, man, it's great stuff. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Getting bigger with every slice. It's pretty good. Today is also National Lazy Moms Day. I've never heard of National Lazy Moms Day because there's no lazy mom in our house. I'll tell you, Kathy is the anti-lazy mom. She went out running this morning, rucking with our daughter, walking uphill with a weighted pack. Both of them. How about that? That's how they started their morning. Pretty impressive. I'm carrying my weighted pack around all day. I sleep with it on. Let's not talk about what you're talking about. That's just it. That's training all day, every day. Good times. Again, we're going to be on here again at 10:20 to talk about NFL action as the Chiefs and the Ravens are going head-to-head today. 10:20 tomorrow Standard Time. We're going to be there. Yeah, Lazy Mom's Day is today. I didn't even know about that. I didn't know that that was a day for anyone. I gotta see, who's this picture of? Oh, I know that guy. Yeah, I can't really promote this, though. I didn't think they could promote it in the paper. I know I can't promote it on Facebook. But what I can tell you is that one of these organizations that sells plants that you can smoke. Hey, Fabian, thanks for tuning in today. Good to see you. Really great to see you. Thanks for calling in today. It was great to have you here. Wait, today's your birthday? Louisa? No way. Hold on. And if that is the case, does it say it's your birthday here? I'll say happy birthday to you. I had no idea it was your birthday. Hold on. If we're not already Facebook friends, then I need to add you as a friend. But holy cow. If it is your birthday, happy birthday. That is awesome. Man, I am so behind on people's birthdays. You guys got to let me know. Happy birthday to you. Oh, man. Now we should do pizza today. I am going to message Scott about pizza tonight, though, for the game. So we'll be back tonight at 6:30 to cover the Falcons and the Cardinals. Hopefully, if this weather keeps up like it is now, we're going to be just fine. You'll be able to see everything you want to see in your playoff baseball action. And I'm really excited about it because this game was, I mean, they're tied right now going into the bottom of the sixth. I'll knot it up at 4. Everybody's going to be rested. So their starting pitchers might be the same guys. Maybe. Or do they go with a couple of totally fresh arms? They already had a couple of days to cool off a little bit, and they only played like half a game. So maybe they're going to be fine. I don't know what the approach is on that. I don't know where you would go. But I'm definitely interested to hear what they're going to say about it. All right. This one was last week. Oh, hey, here's a good reminder. The Saipan Chamber of Commerce. There we go. Hold on. I have a slide group for this, I think. Hold on. Is it candidates? No, that's not. I mean, that would work. Hold on. I remember what I called it. It's not to follow us. Events, I think. Hold on one sec. Sorry, guys. I do have something lined up to show this stuff, and I just need to find it for you. It's not the Tower of Humanity. Events, here we go. But I do need to adjust where I am on this thing. Here we go. This is taking place. Tickets are already for sale. It's not going to be this weekend, but it's going to be the following weekend. Is going to be the debate for all of the candidates. All 5 who've confirmed are going to be at the... Oh, I got to take that one down because the general membership was yesterday. It's going to be September 20th. It's going to be at the Multipurpose Center. It's $10 to get in. And that, if you want to get it, you better call the Chamber of Commerce right away or call your candidate of choice because each of the candidates have been allocated a bunch of tickets. Now, there's only, I think, 275 tickets available. And so many went to chamber members, so many went for the public, but most of them went to the candidates. So the candidates can get their supporters in there. I think each candidate got 40, and so there's 5 of them, so that's 200 tickets right there. So the remaining 75 tickets, 50 were being made available just to chamber members. So that means only 25 others are going to be available. Now, that doesn't mean you won't be able to watch it if you can't get a ticket. If you can't get a ticket, we're going to broadcast it. It's our team, the NMI News Service. We're going to be broadcasting this. We'll put it out on the Saipan Chambers Facebook page, but we're going to have it on the NMI News Service as well. So we're going to get a lot of people going to be able to see it. But nothing quite replaces that feeling of being right there. But there's only a limited number of tickets. So if you can't make it, that's all right. I mean, now you'll at least have an opportunity to watch it. So we've already got the agreement going. We got great sound guys. I mean, we have cool stuff, but we got the best sound guy in the business to partner with Sound Hire. If you don't know Rico, then you don't know great sound. He's got all the best stuff, lights, mics, soundboards, and he's just a good dude to work with. Love working with him. So we are going to be partnering with them to bring you the best broadcast that we can for all this other stuff. Oh, snap. Louisa. Aye, day. Familia Cabreras. I love it. I absolutely love it. Brad, aside from the pizza tonight, don't forget the Tsintsuli. I have a great comment about that. I just don't want to say it. I'll tell you when I see you guys at the booth tonight, because I'll be there. I'll be there tonight. I won't be in here. I'll tell you what, though, doing the play-by-play from here is not bad. It's not bad at all. So it's not like being there, but I got so much great information from you. We were still able to do the sound from out there on the field. But one of the reasons why I liked it, I was able to run the commercials from here too. Pretty nice and easy. And then I was able to run the slide deck that I already have built in over here. I know we could do that there. But the other one is being able to do the replay. I didn't pop in the replay or highlights, but I can do that from here real easy. And I'm not a Mac guy. I'm a regular PC guy, which is so different from regular techie creative people. I know. It's the worst. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Got a couple messages from you guys also. All right, great. Okay, well, yeah, for sure. Automatic. Correct. I love it. But those are some local things. Correct, right? That's one. You know, the other things that you have to adjust to, I have to adjust to hearing anyway, is like the way different things are called different things out here, right? So in Buffalo, talk about like Coke or Sprite or whatever, we call it pop, right? I know it's like the shortened version of soda pop. Mostly everywhere else says soda, we say pop. But here I hear a lot of people say soda. So I've started slipping into it. I said it the other day, and it rolled off so effortlessly that it felt weird because I just said soda. And I was talking to Trey, and he said, hey, in the South, everyone calls it Coke. What kind of Coke you want? You know, it's not like cherry Coke or whatever. No, it's like, what kind of Coke you want? Oh, I'll take a Sprite. I'll take a Mountain Dew. You know? But here, Pampers. It's like Pampers are like the Kleenex of diapers. Kleenex are tissues, right? But everyone calls Kleenex. Yeah. I don't know. But that's what everyone calls Pampers out here. I call them diapers. I don't call everything Pampers. I can't slip in. That one doesn't seem natural to me. But thank goodness that should not be an issue for me. I should not have to buy any of those for any little babies anytime soon. However, I am getting older. I might need them for me in 20 years. Who knows? I hope not. I don't want to be that guy. Can't control it, though. And isn't that what they're for, if you can't control it? All right. Yeah, we'll be here all week, folks. Well, speaking of that, it is just about the weekend, and we're glad that we were able to spend this with you guys. This whole week has been great. I love having you guys. I'm telling you, the show is blowing up. The amount of views that we're getting, I just can't get over how many people are watching. It's so great. Whether you're all watching at one time or another, but watching throughout the day and catching all this stuff, the amount of views that we're getting is just really going through the roof. Thank you for continuing to share the page and letting people know about it. If you haven't already followed us over here, please do. On the NMI News Service. I know you might be watching on all kinds of different pages. We are on the NMI News Service page. We are on the Island Image and Motion page. But please follow us over here on the NMI News Service. And then also, if you haven't already followed us on Instagram, it's our new thing. We have to keep adding more content for that. And then just please follow us over there. There's a threshold that we're trying to get to. I'm just not sure which one that one is. But for YouTube in particular, we're trying to get to 1,000. So if you haven't already subscribed to us on YouTube, please do. The address is NMI News 670. That's on YouTube. And we're growing there. It's just not as fast as what we are here. Because there's a couple of other things that we might end up doing to help us grow. And YouTube's going to be a big part of that. Once we hit 1,000, it just really explodes all the opportunities that we're going to be able to have afterwards. So please help us out with that. That would be pretty cool of you. When in the 9 o'clock update hits from the Associated Press, we're going to put that one for you, and then we're going to call it a day. I want to say thanks again to you guys for tuning in and supporting the show and doing it all the time. Thanks for the phone calls. Fabian, thanks for calling in today. A first-time caller, and really loved it. Really glad that you're in there. And hopefully we'll get you come in studio. You can join us in studio sometime. I think that would be awesome. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And then I'll end up eating healthy with you with the salad. You got salad and some scrambled eggs. I'm like, oh, man, that's what I need to do. All right. Well, we're just about done here. The 9 o'clock update just popped up from the Associated Press, so we're going to send that to you. You guys have a great day today. I mean, you're going to have a great weekend. I know it. We're going to have fun with football later and baseball after that. And then the weekend starts. So go enjoy it. Have fun with your friends. Have fun with your family. If you have to work this weekend, hey, somebody's got to do it. But enjoy the time off that you get. Sometimes you really got to put yourself in the right perspective, and work is work and play is play. But remember where you are in life and what you're doing and why you're doing it and why you want to have that time for yourself. And what are you really working for? Are you working just to have a job? Are you working to make a difference in the community? Are you working to do what you really love? I don't know. Just think about that sometimes, because that's what changed everything for me. This is the reason why I'm doing this and bringing this stuff to you. And the fact that you guys are watching means I think I made a right call. So thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. Have a great, great weekend. And here is your update from the Associated Press.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. New revelations today about the suspect in yesterday's school shooting in Georgia. Hi, Panjwani has the latest.
The teen charged with opening fire denied making prior threats when police interviewed him last year as they looked into online posts threatening a school shooting. The 14-year-old suspect has been charged as an adult in the shooting outside Atlanta that killed 4 people and wounded 9. A tip came to the FBI from people in Australia and California who were concerned about comments made by a chat group user on the social media platform Discord last year. A report said that investigators ultimately did not have enough evidence for an arrest. The teen is expected to be taken to a youth detention facility. Student Laila Sayara explains what she heard and saw the day of the shooting.
And I can just see him kind of turn to the side, like what would have been my right, and you just hear gunshots. It was about 10 to 15 of them.
I'm Haya Panjwani.
The first court hearing in nearly a year in the federal election interference case against Donald Trump. Eric Tucker reports there were repeated clashes between Trump lawyer John Lauro and the judge.
She repeatedly took umbrage with Lauro's suggestion that the case was unfolding at a really sensitive time. She said her interest is just about the 4 corners of the courtroom, what's happening legally, not about the presidential race.
Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris have been laying out their views of the economy. Yesterday, Harris touted her plans to increase the tax credit for starting a small business. Trump's promising to cut the corporate tax to 15% for companies producing in the U.S., telling the Economic Club of New York.
My plan will rapidly defeat inflation, quickly bring down prices, and reignite explosive economic growth.
Britain's Crown Prosecution Service has decided against pursuing assault charges against Harvey Weinstein. But in New York, prosecutors retrying the disgraced movie mogul's rape case are taking steps to potentially charge him with up to 3 more sexual assaults. This is AP News. In Indonesia, Pope Francis visited a mosque, part of his tour of Southeast Asia. Karen Shamas has a report.
Francis joined the Grand Imam of Southeast Asia's largest mosque in pledging to work together to promote peace and protect the environment. At Jakarta's iconic Istiqlal Mosque, Francis' visit was opened with a performance by a visually impaired Indonesian teenage girl. She chanted verses from the Quran about tolerance amongst believers of different faiths. In an initial greeting, Francis said, "In the face of today's many challenges, we respond with the sign of fraternity." The pontiff went on to address what he called threats to humanity, such as wars and conflicts and the environmental crisis. Francis has made improving Catholic-Muslim ties a hallmark of his papacy and prioritises travel to majority Muslim nations to further the agenda. I'm Karen Chamas.
And I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami and greetings to road to Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news, from a beautiful place with Pacific views, it's always so much fun on Good Morning